There's nothing that can shatter your confidence more than having twig-leg arms. Trust me, I've been there and I know exactly how it feels. But the good news is that growing your arms into big, sleeve-hugging biceps is possible. You just need to get smarter with how you train them. There's 5 techniques in particular that the latest science suggests can help speed up biceps growth dramatically. Today, I'll share what those are and how to use them to get your biceps growing faster than they ever have before. The first technique actually has to do with your back training. Whenever you train your back with exercises such as rows, lat pull downs, or pull-ups, your biceps will be heavily involved. Because of this, some people say that's all you really need to grow your biceps. A 2021 study put this theory to the test. They compared the growth of the biceps from dumbbell rows versus dumbbell curls. After 8 weeks, although the dumbbell rows did lead to significant growth of the biceps, dumbbell curls led to over double the growth. These findings mean 2 things. 1, you will still experience a lot of your biceps growth from your big back exercises. So don't overlook their importance for big arms. Get stronger with your back training and your biceps will grow as well. 2, to maximize biceps growth, it's important to train them directly with 1 to 2 exercises after your back training. That said, it's important to pick the right bicep exercises. Recent evidence suggests that certain bicep exercises may be better options than others. This is where the next tip comes in. One of the most exciting areas of recent research has to do with something called stretch-mediated hypertrophy. To explain what this fancy term means, let's take a look at a recent 2021 paper. Researchers had 2 groups of subjects perform the preacher curl twice a week, but either only the bottom half or the top half of the curl. After 5 weeks, they assessed the growth in the biceps. The subjects that performed only the bottom half of the curl experienced almost 3 times the biceps growth as those who only performed the top half. The reason for this seems to be the result of a powerful muscle building stimulus that happens when a muscle is fully stretched under load, such as at the bottom position of a bicep curl. The findings are consistent with other similar studies on the biceps, as well as with research on other muscle groups like the hamstrings. As for how to apply this to speed up your biceps growth, there's 3 things you can do. First, you need to use a full range of motion on all your bicep exercises, especially at the bottom position. This means fully extending your arm at the bottom position to get a full stretch in your biceps each rep. Next, you should choose bicep exercises that challenge the biceps the most when it's in a fully stretched position, which is especially important because it's something that the back exercises we mentioned earlier just can't do. The best options here are the slight incline dumbbell curl and the behind the body cable curl. And lastly, for an even more powerful muscle building stimulus, after your last set for these exercises, once you've reached failure or very close to it, perform half reps of just the bottom part of the curl. This will allow you to push past your normal point of failure and will further prioritize this all-important fully stretched position. The next tip has to do with your workout volume. There's a good chance that as long as you don't overdo it, a small increase in your weekly bicep volume will be met with faster gains. Illustrating this phenomenon is a 2015 paper. Within it, subjects all trained 3 times per week, but were split into groups that performed a weekly total of either 3 sets, 9 sets, or 15 sets of bicep curls. After 6 months of this, there was a clear dose-response relationship with 15 bicep sets per week providing the most bicep gains. However, you don't want to overdo this, especially if you're a beginner. My recommendation is to use 15 sets of direct bicep training as more of an upper limit. Instead of jumping straight to that, take a look at how many weekly bicep sets you're doing right now and add a couple sets to that. I would, however, recommend splitting these sets up so you're not doing it all in one session. This could, for example, look like 3 sets of 2 bicep exercises on one day during the week, and then another 3 sets of 2 bicep exercises on another day during the week. That said, as you perform these sets, it's important to apply the next tip if you want to experience the most growth out of them.
I think the biggest mistake is that you go to the gym and you go through the motion, but you don't really have your mind inside the muscle.
Old school bodybuilders have long preached the benefits of focusing on feeling your muscle working as you train it. Not until fairly recently, in a 2018 paper, has this method been actually put to the test. Researchers had 1 group of subjects perform the bicep curl while really focusing on squeezing the biceps and really feeling the muscle work. The other group was simply instructed to lift the weight. After 8 weeks of this, the group that focused on feeling their biceps working experienced almost double the bicep gains. To apply this method to potentially speed up your bicep gains, whenever you do curls, try to really feel your biceps doing the work. It can help to think about pulling the bar or dumbbell into your body rather than just lifting the weight up. This leads me to my final tip. In order for a muscle to grow, you need to continuously challenge them with more than they're used to. It sounds simple, but most people don't do this when they train their biceps. They forget about this concept completely and only focus on getting a good pump. Instead, to force your biceps to grow every week, first pick 2 to 3 bicep exercises that you'll stick to week after week. Here's a few that I recommend based on what we talked about earlier. Then, whenever you do a workout, write down how much weight you used and how many reps you did. Use these numbers as a goal to beat during your next workout by trying to do 1 to 2 more reps than you did last time or add a little bit more weight.